another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, episode number 9. Conversation I want to get into today is Floyd Mayweather still the biggest star in boxing, and is he still in the shine from up-and-coming fighters? Let's get into the conversation.
I thought I was done with this part. You know, the same way I'm selling out stadiums, you're gonna do the same thing, and selling out arenas, you're gonna do the same thing. But you have to have patience. He had patience, and that's what we're doing. I mean, in the lightweight division right now, we have guys with great names, but not drawing power. And one thing about Tank, he has drawing power.
This conversation right here, I think it could be a great conversation. People can look at it in so many different ways. You see who up on the screen, Floyd Money Mayweather. He has set every single record that you could possibly set. 5-time division world champion. You know, he got every accolade in boxing that you could possibly get. Went undefeated, 50-0. You know, it's nothing that you could possibly say about him. But I think what the question gets to, as far as the promotion side, is Floyd Mayweather giving his fighters enough, light? Is he letting them shine? In some cases, I think he is, and I think he know. It's kind of like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan knew what it took to win, and Floyd Mayweather know what it takes to win and actually stay on top. And the way he trained, he took nothing for granted. So, sometimes the media can mix and screw stuff, and people can, kind of take what you say and flip it around or how they want to, perceive you. But I think that Floyd Money Mayweather, in a way, I think he means well. Sometimes, when he get to interviews and stuff like that, he get to talking about his accolades and things that he did. I think sometimes, he gets so excited about boxing and all that good stuff, man. But it is a time and a place to talk about yourself and your accolades. If somebody asks you a question about you, you answer a question about you. But when you're talking about a fighter that you're trying to get to take over, you let that fighter shine. But, that's just my opinion on it. That's just how I view it. Do I think he's trying to do it on purpose? Do I think he want the best for boxing? I think he want it all. I think he's that competitive. I think, Tank is probably that's his number one fighter right now. And he probably see a lot of himself in Tank. But you got to let Tank shine. You got to let Tank do what Tank do. As far as the boxing thing go, I think Tank is a smart fighter. I think Tank got it going on. And I think him working with Errol Spence and teaching him things, and him trying to get Terrence Crawford on his roster spot, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want the best for up and coming fighters, man, you support all fighters, even Canelo. I think you let Canelo do it. Canelo, what he's doing, and I think if anything, you show Canelo a lot of credit, because he's taking what you did and he is taking it to the next level. So it's no real reason. A lot of times it looks like he really hating on him, and I can almost say it does look like he hating on Canelo, but you got to let Canelo be Canelo. Canelo is setting a trend for a lot of these new up-and-coming fighters. Tank Davis talked about it. A lot of other fighters is a big supporter of him. Charlo Twins is a big supporter of Canelo. There's nothing wrong with that. You had the spotlight. It's not a bad thing for somebody else to take the spotlight and took what you showed them, even if they took it in a loss, which Canelo took it in a loss. And I think Canelo took it gracefully. I think Canelo went back to the drawing board. He said, I fought one of the best fighters that he could possibly fight. And he also took what you did, and he's doing it in his own way. And a lot of other fighters looking up to that. I see nothing wrong with it. So what if you got two different fighters that you could look up to? Floyd Mayweather, he laid the blueprint. A lot of these younger guys, they're using the blueprint. They got their own promotional companies and stuff like that. They taking the majority of the cut instead of paying a promoter. There's nothing wrong with that. Floyd Mayweather, he laid the groundwork for it, and Floyd Mayweather should feel proud about what he has accomplished in the sport of boxing. I think he means well. But a lot of times when you get Floyd Mayweather, you talk to him about Tank Davis or any other fighter, it tends to go back to Floyd Mayweather, and I think that's where a lot of people are having issues with it. and a lot of times, you know, it's just that competitive spirit. A lot of times it's hard to let it go after you being the man, and he's still the man, you know, with fighting Jake Paul and all the other things that he's accomplishing on the outside of his career. And I think he should be very proud of that, because you never know, maybe Tank them, you know, as they get ready to retire, or when they retire, they'll start fighting YouTubers or whatever, you know, kind of adventures they want to kind of take. Who knows? I'm not saying they're going to follow all that stuff, but, you know, Floyd Mayweather is still making a lot of money. He's still one of the smartest people in boxing, and I think a lot of fighters should really still pay him some attention. But as far as I think what the fans kind of get a little trippy at is that when you ask Floyd Mayweather something, he kind of tends to get back onto himself. In some cases, like I say, there's nothing wrong with it if we're talking about Floyd Mayweather, but when you're talking about your top fighter or other fighters, you give those fighters their just due. And even Canelo said that he was happy to share the ring with you. So, you know, you really can't tell a man how to think, how to say certain things, and how to, you know, present himself. But as far as, you know, Floyd Mayweather being a bad person, I don't really see it. I don't really think he mean nothing by it. I just think he's still competitive. He still work out. He's still putting on shows. You know, he got some event coming up in Dubai, so, you know, I think he's still got that drive in him to say, hey, I can still do this. I can still, you know, put my skills on display so people can watch. And he's making a ton of money by doing that. He's still keeping the sport alive with boxing. You know, even with Jake Paul and them, I mean, who says he's not inspiring those guys? Those guys on the, you know, I don't really count them as boxers, and that's just my own opinion, but they are entertainers. They're really good entertainers too. But, you know, just to have somebody put on some gloves and to try their hand at boxing, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's great for the sport. It has more eyes on the sport. It gives the sport of boxing a different dynamic as far as, you know, what people can do with the sport, even if it is on an amateur level. So, you know, I think Floyd Mayweather has laid a great blueprint for a lot of kids out here. Kids still watch him to this day. And I think that the things that he's doing will be remembered. And depends on how people remember it, that's up to you. But let me know what you think about this conversation. Do you think it needs to get deeper? What do you think about, the things that I said? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you like Floyd? Do you dislike him? So leave your comments down in the descriptions below. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, episode number 9. Just want to thank you guys. Want to start it off with that. As far as the comments, you guys have been killing it. I love it. I love sharing my opinion, my point of view on a lot of these topics, and I try to have it in a different way to where it's open. It's open conversation, not so much as me telling you how to think and, you know, how to view boxing. I have it to where it's open. So, you know, leave, you know, what you really think about some of these topics that I'm bringing up. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And we can get the conversation going. But I want to thank you guys for all the subscribers. My channel has been really going up. It has been going up pretty fast, so that lets me know that I'm putting out the best content that I could actually put out. And, you know, I couldn't do it without you guys, so I just want to thank you. But we're going to go ahead and cut this video short. If you want to see what I'm wearing, shoptachi.com. All my links will be down in the descriptions below as far as my IG page, Twitch, and Facebook. So please go check those things out. And, you know, especially on Twitch, I got a lot of other boxing content over there, so please go check that out. But that's going to end it for this video. Thank you for tuning in to Big Bear Boxing Squad.